What's up, everybody? It's Dan, and I had to take a look at this comparison that I have been seeing floating around the internet from various sources. Lots of Raptors fans claiming that Pascal Siakam, third-year forward that they have, nice up-and-coming player, is comparable to the Greek freak Giannis. And I don't think so. At least not current Giannis. Right now, the Giannis that we're seeing, even though he cannot make a shot outside of the paint, which surely sometime soon he'll start making those, he is still performing at an MVP level. So I was thinking about it, and I thought it might be more fair to compare Pascal Siakam's third season, the current season, to Giannis back when he was in his third season back in 2015-16. And I looked up these stats, and I was kind of surprised because if you look closely, Pascal actually has him beat in almost everything except for blocks and assists. But if you remember way back in the time machine in 2015-16, that Bucks team led by Jason Kidd was horrible. They had 33 wins. The only players on their team that shot above 32% from three were Chris Middleton and Jared Bayless. So there was not a lot of spacing for Giannis. So Pascal and Giannis have a lot of similarities. They both started playing basketball at a later age. They're both very athletic, although Giannis is kind of at another level. Giannis has 2 inches on Pascal in height, and his hands are 2 inches bigger. His hands are massive. And his wingspan is probably much... Hold up. I don't know if I buy that. Giannis has the biggest wingspan, well, not the biggest wingspan, but for a perimeter player, and you'll see it in these clips. Like, I don't know if I believe that from Google. Anyway, I want to look at Giannis versus Pascal, and once again, that's Giannis back 3 years ago and Pascal currently in 3 different categories. Okay, we are going to be looking at half-court points in the paint. We're going to be looking at long-range shooting and transition. Okay, so let's get it started with half-court. Pascal Siakam, at first glance, is off the charts in all of these categories. For example, percentage of shots assisted, both Giannis and Pascal are above the 90th percentile, meaning that they self-create a lot. They don't rely on others to create for them. Pascal is almost doubling Giannis in points per possession in isolation, which is amazing, really impressive. He's killing it so far. His points per shot is in the 94th percentile. However, Giannis's usage was much higher, and like I mentioned, that Bucks team was not good. It was kind of nasty, and it was a lot harder to create. So honestly, Giannis being in the 75th percentile is pretty impressive. And finally, points per possession on cuts, which was something that both players used a lot of possessions doing. They both excelled in that, but especially Pascal this season. So let's look at the video. Okay, we're gonna start off with some Siakam one-on-one possessions. Here he's driving on Ilyasova. He loves getting back to that left shoulder. He spins maybe more than any other NBA player right now from what I've seen. Here he is operating on Julius Randle, and he spins back over the left shoulder. I feel like people are gonna start catching on to that. I mean, we'll see. Here he is operating on Marvin Bagley again. Quick first step. He is one of the quickest, most fluid players, and his dribbling skills are really good. So he's able to face up and also have his back to the basket on you. See, here's Ilyasova again. He eats guys like Ilyasova for breakfast. They're just too slow for him. He's too quick. Here we see him driving on Sarge, and he has that counter going over the right shoulder. He doesn't prefer to do it, but he can do it. Oh, is he gonna work Sarge again? Gets a step on him and gets the and one. So that's 2 plays we've seen in a row on Saric. That's some really nice touch with the left hand. I haven't seen that much from him, but he does have it in the arsenal. Much prefers this, getting back to the right hand and finishing. And you'll notice he started off a little bit closer in on that play, but he really prefers starting from the 14 to 18, 20-ish foot range. So it looks like he's going to take Kevin Love this time. Gets a good first step on him. Kevin Love backing up. Can't hang. And if you thought he only does this on poor defenders, look, he just did it on Anthony Davis. The guy has a lot of tricks in the bag. Here he is penetrating. Ooh. That would have been nice. We're going to be comparing his athleticism to Giannis a lot later. And then he doesn't have the threat of shooting, but if you saw on that possession, and I believe on the next one, he catches and he goes right away. If he sees it, you're not in a position. So he is in a way a kind of a threat from beyond the arc if he catches in the right position. Here he is off ball cutting. Once again, if you don't pay attention to him on the perimeter, he bolts inside. That's how he gets that 1.7 points per possession on cuts. Let's freeze it right here. As soon as Sarge leaves him in the corner, he's going to the basket. Green sees him. I have no idea what Sarge is doing, doubling a Danny Green post stuff, honestly. But he's very opportunistic. There he sees that his defender has his... Okay, those were some nice plays, but now we're gonna take a refresher and remember how Giannis overwhelms people in the half court. So instantly we notice his length, just powering up and over and through Gasol. Here's a nice left-handed drive with a long extension on the left-hand finish. He has the Euro step game. Here Mike Dunleavy just has no chance. That footwork is so good. And we see the wingspan once again. The wingspan just looks longer than Siakam. I don't know if I trust that. Also, he has the spin game going over the right or the left shoulder, just like Siakam. And we see that he's operating in tight spaces, but still able to overwhelm defenders like Dwayne Wade right there. Here we're going to see him finish through Dwight Howard. Nice and one finish. And he can also penetrate from the three-point line, shows a nice handle there. Sidesteps Pau Gasol. And he can also attack off a closeout. Even though he doesn't have the threat of long-range shooting, if you sag off of him and you're not in position to close out, also if you help off, he can dart to the basket, just like we showed in that clip of Siakam. Nice. Okay, we're gonna, freeze. Nobody's guarding him. Cuts to the basket. Kind of a weird finish. Anyway, on to long-range shooting. You'll notice that the stats are pretty similar here. Both guys are okay from corner threes, awful from above the break, and almost never create their own threes. Pascal has not created his own three-point shot once the entire season. And we're gonna see here, whenever he's shooting a three, he has lots and lots of space. Although the follow-through does look good, you gotta be wary of shooting highlights though. A highlight clip where no one misses is always gonna look impressive, but his form, it's not bad. Holds the follow-through nicely. He's got all day to shoot right there. Norm Powell, what happened to you, man? Disappointing. Pascal's pumped. Yeah, this is like a broken record. He's just wide open from the corner. I mean, it's impressive. It's helpful to an offense. I think this one, that one is from above the break. See, that's a nice shot. Semi-quick release, gets it off. Okay, now let's take a look at Giannis's shooting. And this first clip is going to tell you all you need to know about Giannis's shooting in 2015-16. Look at the disrespect from the Black Mamba, from Kobe. Look at Kobe walling off the paint. Giving Giannis more than 10 feet of space to just cruise into that jump shot. That's hilarious. So here he is from the corner. Nice compact stroke. That maybe looks even better than it's looked so far this year. His shot so far this year has not been good. It's looking really hitchy. There's a nice pull up from above the break. The clock was winding down. That's why he shot that, but that's a good shot. Here you see him pulling up against the Nets. Give him props, Thad. Pulling up against the Rockets. So he has a little bit more versatility off the dribble than Siakam. Nice long two there, really high percentage. Here he is, Crowder backs off, one rhythm dribble, shoots it up. That's something we haven't seen from Siakam. That's deep. It's like a 27-footer. Okay, let's get into transition. Both of these guys operate a ton in transition, more than 20%, and have a huge success, more than 1.2 points per possession for both. However, Giannis, like we've talked about, more of a nuclear athlete, is on pace for more than double the dunks. So stop ball, stop ball, stop ball, nobody stops ball. And this is, I mean, both of these guys, Siakam and Giannis, are pretty unique in the fact that they're power forward, center sized, and they're able to handle so well. And they have such a high motor. Honestly, on a lot of these plays, it's hard to distinguish between what is truly transition and what's more of semi-transition. And that's a credit to these guys. I mean, you think that the defense is back, and all of a sudden they start pushing and you're on your heels, and you realize your defense maybe isn't as set as you thought it was. Like right there, Derek Favors probably thought he was getting ready for a nice half-court possession. Same there with Nemanja Bjelica. He goes to those spins so much. Here he is spinning on Sheikh Diallo. Nice and one. The Jazz again. Crowder thinks he's back. Nice stutter. Yeah, Josh Hart doesn't know where he... Oh! Okay. I mean, we got to respect Pascal's athleticism too. We're going to be seeing a bunch of Giannis dunks in a little bit. Oh, that's nice. Here Kawhi creates a steal. Let's freeze that. Look at where Siakam is on the bottom of your screen. Look at how far behind the play is. All of a sudden, he's ahead of everybody else and finishing over JJ Redick. Let's freeze it right here. Look, he's behind Canner. Lowry sees him. Siakam has such a good motor. He works so hard. Look at where he is this time. He's behind literally every Cavs player. Just runs. Lowry, that's a nice no-look pass. Lowry's passing has been so good this year. Okay, let's take a look at Giannis in transition. And this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Ooh, Derrick Rose wanted no part of that. Amir Johnson's back. Amir Johnson's back. Amir, you are not back. And you see that Giannis's hand size allows him to really palm the ball. That's such a nasty fake. On Shane Larkin, that's such a nasty fake. Here he's just cruising by Marcus Morris. Strong finish. And you see here why he has so many more dunks than Siakam. I mean, Giannis's footwork is once in a generation. This is that's one of the best dunks of that year. Woo! I gotta take a deep breath. That was a lot of highlights. Anyway, guys, I realized that the comparison was a little bit weird because Siakam is 24 years old this season. Giannis was 21 back in 2015-16. They're actually the same age right now. And Giannis back then was not even close to the player, or I guess he was blossoming into the player that we know he is today. But I get the comparison. Both guys struggle to shoot. Both are active, long, reliable defenders. We didn't get to go into as much of that as I would have liked. But Pascal is really good. Not the rim protector that Giannis is, but still very effective. These guys have very similar play styles, love getting out in transition, obviously prefer to operate close to the basket. So I'm going to be interested to see how Pascal progresses throughout the season. Raptors fans should be extremely excited for this guy. He might be playing himself into a really big contract. I don't know about that. Anyway, I expect his percentages to maybe drop a little bit, but he has such a strong motor, and that skill set is undeniable. I mean, that's where the comparison is most apt. Not a lot of guys that are power forward, center size can grab and go like that, handle the ball so fluidly in transition, put pressure on the rim, and find guys. Pascal is actually a decent passer as well. So let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what player I need to do next. And also, Pascal, watch yourself, because the last video I did, I felt really bad for Karas's injury, but it's looking like he's going to come back soon. Anyway, let me know what player I should do next, and peace.